I don't feel boycotted by Hollywood because I don't think about it. I don't think about Hollywood.
Sheila! My a girlfriend was flying on a bat into hell to save me.
Merry Christmas, everybody. It's the holidays of local independent film.
Of Yollywood.
Of Yollywood.
I am a hemorrhoid. Hi. My name's Bill, and I'm a recovering actorholic.
I mean, you know, but this is the good stuff.
I know, it really is.
This is like what it's all about.
Yeah.
You know, that's what we call lunch.
Yeah.
You know, this stuff right here is the dirt under your nails.
I liked interviewing
Filmmaking.
while they were still shuffling around. They were just shuffling over here, like there's nothing going on. We're in the background. We're in the background. In the
Hey,
background.
Paula, are we going?
Yeah, I'm
Oh,
live.
okay, good.
I'm alive.
Oh, we're back. Episode 3.
So,
And Skylar's back, everybody.
hi. Hi. Is that still going?
Yeah, that's going.
We'll see us.
Wave it to them all. There's like a bunch of things here. Yeah, welcome back.
Who's this guy?
Who's that guy? That guy? Oh, well, we'll get to that in a second. Very important guest today on It's Gonna Be Great. It's all about actors. And in the Heck House studio, we have the incomparable, the infamous, the stupendous,
Idiotic.
the scary, the looming, the thrilling actor, the Kevin Bacon of local independent film,
Of Yollywood.
of Yollywood, star of such films as Jumanji. Welcome to Fletch. You can't say anything. Yeah, right. You have to say your name first. Too Many Cooks. You know Too Many Cooks if you have. You haven't seen it. Not yet. Your Pretty Face Is Going to Hell, which I'm sure you can
the entire thing.
He hasn't talked the entire thing, and many, many more. Like he's in almost every short film in Atlanta, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to welcome William Tokarsky.
Hi. My name's Bill, and I'm a recovering actorholic.
Hey,
Hi,
Bill.
You're recovering? How many days has it been since you've acted?
Yo, we'll get into that. We're about to get into that. We're gonna get
He
into that.
just got his agent calling right now.
Merry Christmas, everybody. It's the holidays, so we're gonna keep things very cheery. And by cheery, I mean getting to a dark Santa Claus over
Yeah.
here. So even when we're clean, we're still kind of dirty. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. I'm saying.
We're all on the naughty list.
We're all on the naughty list. But yes, welcome William Tokarsky, and tell everyone a little bit about yourself. How did you get started in acting? What's your origin story?
How much time do you have?
You have about 10 minutes,
99
Alright.
minutes. Is 10?
maybe 5.
I retired after spending a career in manufacturing. I was an electrician by trade. And I moved to a city south of Atlanta called Noonan, Georgia, where they have lots of period homes. It's called the City of Homes.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a film being made in that area called Get Low with Robert Duvall and Bill Murray.
Mm-hmm.
A great film. Go look it up on some streamer somewhere and watch it.
I mean, it's Bill Murray. He's great.
Yeah.
Duvall is a hermit who decides that he's going to throw his own funeral and see who comes and what they do. And Bill Murray is the guy that runs the funeral home.
Okay.
They were filming and they were shooting outside to the street, and I'm in a park across the street watching. And I was fascinated with it. I never saw any of the major actors, but I saw somebody that was an extra, just someone walking up and down the street. And I'm talking to the guy while he's in holding. They're mixing in with the population.
Yeah.
And I said, well, that sounds like fun. I think I'll do it. Go make $50, $100, eat some decent food and hang around with some big stars.
Yeah.
I signed up, filled in. The very next film I was on was the Odd Life of Timothy Green with Jennifer Garner, and they had a town hall meeting. And way back in the room is a guy wearing a hat. That's me. I mean, I'm just a little, but I liked it. I thought it was fun, and I started doing background work.
Yes.
Where we met.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
What was that about?
We were talking about it earlier. I don't think we know exactly, but I think it might have been the originals. But I was also, that's when I was starting to do PA work. So we're thinking it was probably prior to that on some other movie, not on a television show, but on one of the movies. Because I also did The Blind Side.
Now I missed that one.
I did We Are Marshall, and there was a bunch of other movies that came to Atlanta. I cannot remember all of them that I did extra work in because they all merged together at some point.
I am blessed because people I meet like Skylar want to help me, and I today look to help people whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
So I started doing background work, and I signed on to do a great little film called The Hunger Games: Catching Fire.
Well, that's where we met then, because that's what I did too.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
And I was scraggly, long beard, and I don't know, they liked it. I don't know what. And I signed up to do 5 days. And on the 4th day, I got back for lunch, got out my phone. You know, you can't turn your phone on until you're at the lunch.
No.
But, and there was a message from the lady that cast me. Rose Locke was her name.
Rose Locke.
It said, "You have a speaking line next week with Jennifer Lawrence if you want it."
Woo!
If I want it. Hell yeah. So I had 6 little words. You want to get him killed. And what occurred was the scene was set where her boyfriend, Liam Helmsley, was being Hemsworth, that's the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Was being pistol whipped by a peacekeeper out in the middle of the square.
Yeah.
And the scene had her come through.
Running through.
With the rest of the crew, Woody and the rest of them, and she was going to go save him. And I stepped in front of her and said, "You want to get him killed?" Made $2,400 in 2 days.
Nice.
I have drawn over $7,000 in residuals on it.
Just from that.
So I was really excited. Now, you want to hear the good part?
Yeah.
It's cut. It's not in the movie.
Yeah.
Can't see it. Can't see it. It's not in the movie. I'm going to guess that they're planning on making an anthology, a full day with all the shows one after the other in chronological order, and they'll have all the unseen scenes.
Those things that
SAG told me that it's up to the producer whether he wants you to have residuals if you're not seen in the show.
Right.
If you're an actor who's seen in the show, you are going to get residuals. So, but the thing I loved the most, working as an extra, you wear smelly clothes and do it. I had this thing that I thought was a Taj Mahal, or was a honey wagon, just a little slot in a trailer with a place to sit down. Opened that door, and there was a freshly laundered set of wardrobe for me. Every day they laundered that wardrobe. I loved it. The first day, I'm sitting in there, put my outfit on. There's a knock at the door. Some production assistant comes and says to me, "Mr. Tokarsky." Well, I turned and looked to see if my father was there. I mean, he wasn't. But he says, the director, Jake Cassadan? No, that was the other one. Anyway, the director was having a production meeting, pre-production meeting, a breakfast meeting. If you'd care to join him, Woody, and Jennifer. Yeah. I sat in the corner like a mouse. I didn't say anything. I just listened. They worked me 2 days on the show. I loved it. It was terrific. So this acting thing is pretty good. I liked it. It was good.
Did you talk to them, Woody and then Jennifer? Did you have like some good conversation at all? Or no?
I'll tell you my Jennifer Lawrence story here in a minute.
All right.
I got one too.
I
Probably the same day.
I decided I was going to be an actor. I ran down to the SAG office. The executive director, Melissa Goodman, was there and says, I want to join SAG, and here's my paperwork. She says to me, Billy, she called me Billy. She says, Billy, I'll take your money and sign you up, but I want to give you some advice. Why don't you wait? Why don't you start working some non-union films and shorts? Get some training. Get an agent. And then come back and see me. 2 years later, I came back and saw her and joined SAG. The very first role I booked after I did that was Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle.
Yeah. When I saw you in that, I was like, I know that guy.
It's dumb luck. I was born with charisma and on-screen charisma.
Yes, sir.
It's a look. It's a look for me. You know.
It's a look and a character and a countenance that you can bring to the thing.
Well,
It's
in
reliable.
my case,
Reliability is big.
I am a retired individual, and I promised myself I'd never be poor when I retired. So my house was paid for, my cars were paid for, and I had a little savings, a pension, a 401k. I'm not desperate.
Okay.
So when I get in with a room and you got to pay rent tomorrow,
Please don't remind me.
you're desperate. You got to book that role.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't give a
flexible.
shit. I'll
Speaking
you know.
directly
Be
to me.
flexible.
Yeah.
He's right. I do. I gotta pay rent
I mean,
and a car.
don't we all? You
Yeah.
know. But that is blessed, to be able to have that kind of flexibility, which is hard in the industry. A lot of people, when they get started, especially, they're working job to job. They might not hear something for 3 months, and that's in any position. 3 months, 6 months, it could be a year, before that next job comes, and then you have to keep hustling and making connections in order to get there.
I personally feel like I started too soon in the industry.
You started too soon?
Yeah, like I think that I should have just started working, doing some other job before getting into acting, because I have not gotten the opportunity to do as much acting as I want. Because once you get behind the scenes, working as a production assistant or working in props or something, you get sidetracked. You get focused more on just bringing home the bread.
So is production assistant not a good route to acting?
No,
don't do that.
It can be, again, like dumb luck.
Yeah.
Just randomly, like sometimes I know there's a few people that I've worked with who have just been thrown into a scene with a speaking line because they were likable enough as a production assistant that they were just like, do you want to do this?
Yeah.
And they end up doing it and then having a production pay for their SAG card.
But you can't count on that.
You can't count on that.
Heck no.
And that can happen with extra work as well, but it's rare. It's rare.
You get pigeonholed as to what you are. I was an extra.
What's your pigeonhole? What's it called? What would you say you're?
I'm an extra.
Oh.
I am pigeonholed as an extra. I've never worked for Tyler Perry. Raymond, the lady that does the casting, knows me personally as an extra. She never casts me. Okay.
Yeah.
So when I first started working, most of the roles that I would book were out of state. I would have a friend of mine was working in Kentucky on a lovely little film called Tragedy Girls, and they're sitting around the table discussing what they're doing, and the director says, "I need somebody to play a creepy janitor."
Hey.
My buddy types up my page, turns it around, slides it to him. I'm on a plane to Kentucky for a week.
Yeah.
I did 2 little scenes, said about 4 words, but I work better things mostly out of state than in state.
Why is that? What is that about?
Because they don't have me pigeonholed as an extra.
Yeah.
They know me for what I presented to them.
How can you get out of that? How do you
Just work.
Work out of state? Is it the only way?
My big TV series.
Yeah.
Where was it filmed?
Was it here?
North Carolina.
Wilmington, North Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it?
I did 19 episodes up there. Everybody I work with is sad because the show got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rejoicing the fact that I got to be a part of it for 19 episodes, you know. So
That's very interesting what you're saying. Like that, even the idea, I wonder if it can be applied to other things. Like if you want to get to a different level, like say you're assistant props, but you want to be a props master, maybe you look for things that are outside your realm. You know what I mean?
I tell people I served an indentured apprenticeship with Adult Swim as an extra.
Indentured apprenticeship.
Yes.
Hmm.
And
That's exactly what
I
it was.
learned not to be afraid of failure and how to take chances.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, you become confident in what you do. And, you know, and to quote the guy that I like the best of acting is Jack. Do I have to say his last name?
Nicholson.
Yes,
I was
sir.
going to say yours.
Jack says, if you have an urge, do it. If it's no good, there's always take two.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's been my philosophy.
It's natural that way. It's more natural. It comes out of you.
Adult Swim with the shows, and like I say, I did 4 seasons with Adult Swim on Your Pretty Faces Going to Hell.
So how did that, what's that real genesis?
Because I have a high forehead,
Yeah.
they could mount some horns there.
Yeah.
So they were looking for extras that could work that job. I worked season 1, and I did what I was told, and I wasn't an asshole. And in the process, I made friends.
Could you say that last bit again? The part about not, what were you not?
An asshole.
We're going to get back to that. Assholes in film. Go on.
And
You got something else in mind, I guess. I'm not sure.
About being an asshole?
I guess. I don't know.
Well, it's the whole thing about that being a hindrance to things. I think if you're, you know, I say be nice, you know. Respect yourself, make sure others respect you, and be nice. There's no need to be an asshole. I think some people think that, you know, it's almost like, I love that scene in Patch Adams.
You say I'm a prick? You say I'm a prick? You know, maybe I am. But you ask the average person when death comes knocking at their door whether they want a prick on their side or some kindergarten teacher who's gonna kiss their ass. Because when that day comes, I want the prick. And so will you.
You know, I forget how young you are, Mitch. That you think that you have to be a prick to get things done, and that you actually think that that's a new idea.
The movie's okay. I love Robin Williams, but the scene specifically when he says, when he's talking to Paul, what's his name who died? Philip Seymour Hoffman. He said, everyone thinks you gotta be an asshole to get things done. Everyone thinks that's an original idea. Patch Adams is a doctor, man, with a good attitude. You know what I mean? And that goes a long way. You can be intelligent, decisive, smart, and still warm, you know? And because the industry is so toxic, whenever I find those relationships, I think those are the strongest relationships you should form in the industry. And I look for that. It's like a golden nugget, you know? Look for a great job, yes, but if you can get that.
now I'm not perfect.
Well, who is? Nobody.
I'm not perfect. I like to say I am not an asshole. I am a hemorrhoid.
Okay.
I irritate assholes.
Yeah, you've got a close relationship with assholes that they don't like.
I irritate them.
Yeah, I mean, that's good.
All right, Adult Swim,
Oh, yeah.
second season, they gave me a line.
Yes.
My line was, Sheila! That was it.
And was that one of those like camera out ones? Because anytime you do like one of those, no, you see that camera pull out. There are 2 mosquitoes in here, and they are bugging me.
The mosquitoes are bugging you.
My girlfriend was flying on a bat into hell to save me.
In the
and she
show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the show.
Not in real life, copy.
She snatched me and pulled me out of hell. Yeah.
Yeah, bad as hell. Was Meatloaf playing? Was the
I
album?
do not know.
I gotta watch that episode.
Episode 5 of season 2.
So this got you into Adult Swim, or
Well,
did
it made me friends. It made me
Yeah.
friends. I
Yeah.
was on camera. I said something. They said, "Hey, this guy's like a mirror. He reflects what the director tells him, and he reflects what the writer's written." You know, I
He does
said,
his job, yeah.
"Sheila." So I got to try out. It wasn't really an audition. Try out for a role in something called Too Many Cooks.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yes.
A 11-minute infomercial that showed
It
4
wasn't
nights,
very
Halloween week, and I forget, 10 years ago.
cool. Mhm.
Everybody.
And-
God, it was.
Some
That's right.
person, I don't know who, bootlegged it to YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I'm friends with the editor. The editor called me up and says, "Hey," he says, "have you seen Too Many Cooks is on YouTube?" I says, "Really?" He says, "Yeah, and it's got 2 million views." Called me back the next day. It's got 5 million views.
Mhm.
The thing went nuts. I mean,
Yeah.
it was, my son was in the Coast Guard in California,
Yeah.
and someone shared it with him without any idea
idea?
of the yeah.
Wow.
So it's like
It blew up.
I have been on set with A-listers, and they said, "Tell me about you filming Too Many Cooks."
Yeah.
David Dustmulchin just pulled me out of the line as an extra and wanted to talk to me about.
Yeah.
Great, I'm happy to do that. Let's go get some crafty, the good stuff.
The good stuff.
We'll sit down and we'll talk about it. Yeah.
Not the cheese puff.
No, not the
Move-
cheese
move
balls.
forward.
Yeah.
Do you think that's the one that really got you out there, or would you say?
It's opened a lot of doors.
Yeah.
It's opened a lot of doors.
Is it still opening doors?
Yeah. Flatch. When I went up to Flatch and the co-star, number 2 man on the call sheet, said, "I saw you when I was in college," you know. So it's like they knew that I had done that. You know?
Yeah.
And they knew I had an Adult Swim background, which is a little goofy, you know. So
That's cool, man. And that got you. You're on Jumanji.
no, actually, I was on Jumanji, but that was a straight up audition. It was right prior to tapes. I was doing a live audition, and I walked in the room. But here's the thing, and you know, I hate to do this because I have so many friends that are working actors, and working actors, these are the people that take headshots, teach classes, coach you,
Yeah.
you know, because they work so they
Yeah.
can live.
Yeah.
I call them working actors.
They're working actors because they're still working on teaching and still trying to find a good means of income.
But for me, that bit on Sheila, a friend talked to her agent and said, "You ought to sign this guy, he's good." And I met her the next week at one of Bailey's get-togethers, Get Connected.
Oh yeah.
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 And I gave her my picture, and you know, her son says, "I don't like him, he's arrogant." I said, "Somebody's going to represent me at some time, it might as well be you."
Hey.
Yeah.
Amen.
But long story short, let's see, where was I connecting?
Jumanji?
Cooks with Jumanji.
Yeah, Jumanji. Okay. Most people take a class in scene study and find out everything they could about it. Okay. Me, I'm stupid. You know, I get a script. It says I'm delivering this lines to Bethany.
Yeah.
So Bethany to me was a little girl that was at a carnival, and I'm a vendor. Ration, get your rations. And when I talked to her, nowhere in my mind or my projection was that Jack Black.
Okay.
So in other words, what I'm saying is sometimes we overthink think this acting thing
Amen.
too much.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Greg Allen Williams, a great actor that never gets the due that he should. I went to one of those Get Connected, and he had a little class. And afterwards, I talked to him a little bit, and he says, as a character actor, which I still am, I'm a character actor. I don't want the lead. That's work. It's too many lines. But as a character actor, I love to go in and steal the scene and leave. You know?
Yeah.
But he said to me, he says, hey, Bill, just read the damn words. Say the words. Don't put anything else into it. Just say the damn words.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what I do.
What do you think that really means, like, at the meat of it? Like, because I think that's, a lot of people want that and can't get it sometimes from an actor. You know? Do you ever hear about, you know what I'm saying?
I'll tell you what works, but I don't know if I'd advise it. About three beers before you act.
Hey! We're pirates around here.
Well, that's
Love
kind
it.
of how a lot of the actors back in the day would do that. I mean, you loosen yourself
Stay the
up,
nerves.
you know what the lines are because you've been studying them all week with a drink in your hand,
Yeah.
and then you come to
And
set
just
and
do
you
the
speak
thing.
it.
Like with
It's
your
not
heart, right?
PC anymore.
It's not PC.
Also, like, you can definitely get in trouble.
I mean,
Obviously, but like,
yeah, we're not actually advising that, guys. Come on.
wink.
This is an entertainment podcast, all right?
When it comes to
with
the acting,
advice.
I agree with you on all of that because I've taken many acting classes and I've seen a lot of people try to put very specific rules into play that you don't naturally want to do, and sometimes they work for specific people, but you really just you want to know what the character is and you want to know what their words are, and as soon as you start delivering it as that character, you know what you're doing.
You're in it.
You're in it, especially if you have like a natural knack for it.
Being in my unique situation, as far as my age and my status as far as the rent bit goes, when I act, I just be myself and deliver, the lines as if it was me. And that's why I think my performances are memorable, because it's just me.
Yeah.
Good casting says I'm not going to be the banker or the executive in charge or the cop even. You know what I mean?
Firefighter, yeah. Exactly.
So if it's cast well and they want me to play this character, I don't know what the description of the character from Welcome to Flatch was, but I tell everybody that I played a dim-witted curmudgeon with a slight drinking problem.
I feel like that was on your Facebook. I feel like you said that's like your bio. So
yeah,
you need this thing.
Does that bring us to like typecasting? Because if that's my bio,
I mean,
like, hey,
Typecasting is great because the last part of it is your cast.
yeah, you don't have to do any work after
casting. Yeah, yeah.
and like get to be yourself, I guess.
Yes.
That's what you gotta do.
Definitely.
But now, if you're wanting to be an actor that can one time be a fat, blubbering guy and the next time be a
Christian Bale.
I don't want to
Yeah.
be Christian Bale. That's what I was gonna say too. Like,
I mean,
It's work to be at the top, man. You want to be up there.
I want to be Ryan Reynolds, where it's just like, let's get Ryan
I'm just
Reynolds
me. Yeah,
or Christopher Walken. Just,
yeah.
they or them. That's the character.
I can see you like a Ryan Reynolds. I can see that. His brother.
Right.
I think we've said that before.
you want a spoiler?
Yes.
Yeah.
All
Are
right.
you gonna get in trouble?
Might, I don't know.
Let's
Depends
go.
on how
I
much
love it.
audience you have here.
Trouble.
I filmed a film called, I think it's going to be called Brothers, but it could be called Samuel. That was the working title. And I did a scene with Peter Dinklage and Brandon Fraser.
Okay, this is getting
Okay.
good. This is warming up.
Oh yes.
And Peter, I think the premise behind the story is sort of a
Wait, hold that thought.
What?
You have to wait because we're at lunch. That's lunch.
Oh, man, I really wanted to hear this.
You have to wait 5 minutes, okay? We're on break.
How do you feel about being interrupted like that?
I learned that we can do multiple takes without any
That's
problem.
Look.
I want to keep in mind we're talking about Peter Dinklage and Brendan Fraser.
Oh, we're coming back to it. There's something coming up, and they have to
You
wait.
brought your lunch. I got a 10-1.
Yeah, it's in one.
Yeah.
Anybody want some kefir?
Is that weed?
No.
Oh, it's milk.
Yeah, it's Amish.
It's Amish milk.
Yeah. You want some
I'm good.
kefir? Kefir?
I don't know, it's like yogurt milk, right?
Yeah, it's kind of. Want some?
It's like runny yogurt.
Is it sweet?
I don't actually.
It's like milk. It's kind of bitter.
I'll take some. Pour some of
You
my
want some?
there.
You got it, man.
I don't actually eat when I'm doing something. Well, a lot of times I'm wearing a lab mic and my stomach will go gargle, gargle, gargle.
Yeah, you know what? I've heard that happen actually.
So I've just developed a habit where I don't eat when I'm quote unquote performing.
What about lunch? You get lunch though, right? Or no? You did that. You might not have.
I usually don't eat. Maybe I ought to save this, but Jumanji, we never broke for lunch.
You didn't?
No.
You rolled straight through.
Everybody stayed in on-set holding. The PA brought you a menu. You told him what you wanted, and he brought you the thing in to eat. Had $750 in meal penalties.
Woo-wee!
Yeah.
Now you're talking. Now you're talking. So, are you enjoying yourself? in the
Oh, yeah.
podcast?
This is good.
time.
It's a very non-traditional podcast.
I mean, who needs tradition, you know? I mean, some traditions are good, I guess, but we need to break it up a little bit, I think.
How did your people can fly when you had your little showing downtown?
Oh, can I tell you? I had people liked it. I got claps, you know, but you can never tell. I never know people just being nice or whatever. But one lady came, one woman, and I wish I could remember her name because this feels like my first fan. Because she loved People Could Fly.
Yeah.
She said, she looked at me, she had no reason to do this. I was just kind of hanging out, you know. She walked up to me and she said, wide eyes. How did you do that? Like, yeah, this feeling of floating, not just at the end, but even like from the beginning. And I was like, I don't know. I was almost brought to tears by this woman.
Yeah.
It's the only time that's ever happened to me. And I wish, wherever you are out there, God bless you. Because that you touched my soul.
I've not paid attention to anything you're saying now.
No, I'm talking to this lady. I was one fan of our short film that woman was in.
Could be on there.
We'll
Got a
talk
bunch
about
of people on the live right now.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Hey, guys.
That's twice I've played a racist.
Twice? There's
That's
so much
it?
to talk about. There's so much to talk about on this thing. Hey guys, go to filmscribe.press and get you some stickers and other stuff, writings. You'll see these episodes on there.
Avondale Estates at the Green. They're going to be doing. Paula's not here. I can't remember.
We have Krampus.
Krampus
is coming up on the 16th.
Krampus on December 16th.
Yeah, brought to you by Heck House. There's gonna be a Krampus there.
You can get your picture
You're
taken.
welcome to come.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, if you can.
You would make a great
We'd love
Krampus.
for you to come. Yeah, and of course, you should wear this.
Dave Willis is my Krampus.
Your Krampus.
Dave Willis.
He-
Okay.
Dave Willis is one of the two that directed and produced Your Pretty Face Is Going to Hell. In one of the episodes, he actually played Krampus.
Oh, that's
Well, it's going to be
awesome.
interesting. Heck.house is how you find it. They're also on Facebook. But it's a non-traditional art place. And come check it out. It's eclectic. It's cool, you know?
I was pretty close to. This is almost like eggnog.
I mean, it kind of is, right? But it's like that bitter.
Got booze in it?
No.
No, not this time. Yeah.
You
I'll
really
remember for
perked
next
up
time.
there.
Yeah.
A little too happy, Santa. A little too happy about that. Any
It tastes like
shout-outs?
yogurt. It tastes like yogurt.
Do you want to give a shout out to anyone? Say hello, or you know, any people out there?
Mm-mm.
Mrs. Claus? No. Okay.
All right.
We're almost in.
Are we? What time are we back in?
Oh, it's like 60 seconds, maybe 50.
Okay. This is a weird thing to drink. It tastes like yogurt. It tastes like Greek yogurt.
It's got probiotics.
Oh.
It's good for you.
Makes you shit.
This is what those little shots people make. Where, like you see them on set on the Good Crafty. You see them at the
Oh,
Good
man.
Crafty, those little like.
Burt Reynolds told me that when they filmed Deliverance, they had beer in Crafty.
Probably also had
Coors.
Well,
They
you
probably
had
had-
me until Coors. I'm not a
Coke.
Coors.
You probably
fan.
had Coke as well. And I'm not talking about cola.
I don't know. I don't know.
He's
Hey.
like, I wouldn't know.
Hey, we are back in.
Are we back in?
Yeah, we're back in. We're working now.
Peter Dinklage,
And you were
Peter
telling
Dinklage,
this
Peter
wonderful
Dinklage.
story with this secret that we were not supposed to,
Spoiler.
or spoiler, I should say. Yeah.
About Peter Dinklage and Brendan Fraser.
Oh, yeah. I play Peter Dinklage's cellmate. And Peter is being released to go see his brother, Josh Brolin. And I think the two of them are going to do the crap that DeVito and
Arnold
Schwarzenegger did, but I don't know. They hid the script. I mean, it was.
Twins.
That sounds like the perfect
I
duo.
I don't know.
Twins.
I have no idea. It
It could be. The less spoilers that we give,
Right.
the better for him.
Yeah.
So it could be anything.
But as Peter's cellmate, my character used to provide salacious services.
This
Hello.
is starting to look a
On
little
the-
funny
Hello.
to me.
On the audition, they actually were looking for my character up until the day I shot. They never found anybody, but they wanted somebody with false teeth that could rattle their teeth,
Yeah.
Ooh.
But when I did the taped audition, I had a cap that went bye-bye. And so they were, I had a hole there and I could, But anyway, long story short, Dinklage made fun of my character, or not Dinklage, excuse me. Brandon Fraser made fun of my character and what I did as the character. But the interesting thing is Peter Dinklage, a notorious stage actor, right?
Mm-hmm.
Never left character.
Ooh.
Stayed in character the whole time.
He's method.
Yeah. And the scene, he's packing up his stuff to leave, and he's humming when he puts his stuff in a ditty bag or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And the last take, he decided to sing. He's got that
Baritone. He's like
what do you call de Bergerac, whatever.
Cyrano de Bergerac.
Yeah, he's got that film out where he sings.
Oh yeah.
So this was before that was released, and he decided to sing. Now he's a executive producer. That means his money's in the show.
Uh-huh.
So him and the director are sitting discussing whether he's going to hum or sing. And we took a break and we come back to on-set holding, and we're sitting in these little chairs, and he's still in character. And I leaned over to him and I said, I liked your singing.
Mm-hmm.
Sat back down. The son of a bitch broke character and said, what was your name again?
Yeah.
And I said, William. That's it. That's
a beautiful story. If you can get a method actor out of character for a
Yes.
second, and kindness, for one,
Yeah.
it's great.
But I think it's going to be a fun movie.
I
It has to be.
would like to see this.
And I heard a rumor that it was going to be a Christmas movie, but I ain't seen nothing.
Oh yeah.
So I don't
They
know.
might miss the boat.
I mean, we just got out of the strikes, so
Maybe next
Well,
year.
we're not out yet.
no, we're not. We still have the agreements. We still have some voting to do.
Where are we at with all
I want to
this
know
stuff,
what your
guys?
stance is on the.
Yeah.
Yes
I've
or no.
already voted, and I voted yes.
You did.
Because I am not a great actor. Hell, I'm not even a good actor.
I love your acting. Okay, so.
But
You're an actor.
I know what solidarity is. And I have solidarity with my union leadership and my negotiating committee. And so what they recommend to me, that's what I'm going to do. I have been a member of organized labor for over 50 years. Now, it wasn't SAG all the time. I was a member of the United Steelworkers, and my last was a member of United Auto Workers. And when I retired, I was actually an elected union official. So I really understand the inner workings of a union and think rank and file should support their leadership. Vote the son of a bitches out if you don't like them, you know. But if they're voted in, you're going to support them. You know? That's my opinion.
That's understandable. I'm still on the fence about certain aspects of the agreements that I haven't even got to read yet, because there's lots of talks about the stunt teams, stunt performers not getting any of the stuff that they have asked for within those negotiations. There's also the solidarity of the DGA. Is it DGA? Or no, it might be IATSE's agreement coming up next year.
Next year.
And if we say yes to this one,
We're going to set the pattern.
we need to set the pattern. Like, as soon as IATSE has to start getting into negotiations for theirs, we need to have the writers and we need to have the actors all on the same page with IATSE to be sure that they get everything they want as well. So,
Speaking of DGA was the first one that settled with the evil overlords of AANPT.
I'm actually kind of pissed at DGA right now.
Yeah,
For other reasons too.
the way I tell it is they turned over quicker than a $5 whore.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
No comment.
Yeah, they did. They were fast. We were talking about strikes. Was it the year before last year? I can't remember, but we were doing 16-hour days, and the DGA was talking about, like, we want to have less hours. And I'm like, we are at 16 hours, and we're still talking about getting less hours while doing these hours. What is wrong with you guys? And I'm also mad at DGA because my friend Secret Harris is currently in the hospital with leukemia, and the DGA has not reached out to her yet and to help her out, as she is a member of
She
DGA.
talked to them? Do they know?
They should know, because she's got multiple ADs that have come to visit her and talked with them as well. But IATSE has already reached out to her. The president of IATSE Local 479, Mike Atkins, has already reached out and helped her out financially to cover some of the medical bills.
They've got an election coming up
I
too.
know, and I've got to do some voting in that as well. Because there's a lot of people on the board that I trust. And there are a lot of people who are being voted in that I trust. There's some people that I still do trust. They're already on the board, but I think they've done their bit, and maybe some new shoes should be worn.
Get out there and vote, everybody.
Yeah, get out there and vote.
It is difficult trying to work in a union environment in a right to work state, at what I affectionately call a right to work for less state.
Which is well said, because that's what you end up getting. Even after all the reading we do, all the conversations, negotiations we have, we still end up with less money within the union.
Who are we fighting against? Who are they? The corporate
Evil
overlords?
overlords of
AMTP.
AMPTP, movie and television producers. They had a statement that Deadline shared on July 12th. Their end game was to stall this thing until all a majority of union members lost their homes and apartments, and would settle quick.
Yeah, and
That was their plan.
And it didn't really work that well. There were people who were losing their homes and stuff, but they stuck true and continued standing in line at the pickets and not crossing those picket lines.
I mean, if those at the bottom are suffering so much, I feel like those at the top, you have to have balance in the kind of a thing like this. With anything.
See it.
The most
I don't understand.
disappointing thing to me is we never had a picket line in Georgia.
No.
There's nothing to picket because all the shows shut down
Yeah.
and there's no national headquarters.
Yeah.
So we had rallies.
Yeah. There were brief ones over at Trilith, but they didn't really do a lot. There were still the transportation unions going in and out, and a lot of them were trying to get them to not go in and work, but
Interesting.
they were working towards the end, and then production shut down because there was nothing to film.
How do you guys see next year going? Like, how do you see life for actors as an improvement?
I'll be working in a sauna still.
Yeah. Do you think? I mean, do you think it's going to be an improvement? Like, do you think? What do you think it's going to feel?
I mean, it comes down to these votes that are coming up. I mean,
What do you, if you could look into the future?
I
think it's going to be sticky next year. I think it's going to be kind of like.
It's going to be really sticky.
I learned something early in my life. No matter what the situation is around you, where's your bottle? Where's your bottle?
This bottle?
Yeah, this bottle.
Yeah, let's see how
The
that-
cream will always rise to the top.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Our butler over here.
And you are the cream, sir. Indeed.
Our servant over here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You want to say
Well,
hi?
good.
You want to say hi, Paula?
Yeah, you want to say hi?
Say
Come
hi.
on down.
Paula.
This is Paula Davis. She's the director of Heck.house here. And we didn't mention Krampus. We'll mention it April 16th.
Who's playing Krampus?
Jim Stacy.
Jim
Stacy
Stacy.
is playing Krampus.
And the goats are bought by Red Dragon Goats and
Red,
Goats.
Red Dragon Goats.
And
You love
the
goats.
photographer is Brooke Hewitt.
Brooke Hewitt's the photographer. All right.
Okay.
And there's goats, everybody.
December
You love
16th.
goats.
Live goat.
Avondale
Live goats.
Estates.
Green. Is it Avondale Estates?
Yes,
My
Avondale
father used to
Estate
live
U
there.
Park called Town Green, right beside
Green,
Skip
yeah.
Chicago, the hot dog.
I think they heard that.
What?
Chicago style hot dogs?
It's Skip, like skipping.
Yeah.
Skip
Skip.
Chicago dogs. It's,
Skip Chicago Dolls.
yeah,
Okay.
it's
I
a hot
said it.
dog restaurant.
Dogs. Dolls. Dogs. Dolls.
What time?
No, boo, boo.
What
5
time is
p.m. 5 p.m.
No, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Oh,
During
10
daylight
to
hours.
5.
10 a.m. to 5.
Yeah.
10 to 5, everybody.
Well, I hope I'm working then, but if I'm
Yeah.
not,
Yeah.
Yeah, please do come. There'll be a lot of people taking weird pictures.
And my birthday is December 19th.
ooh,
Paula's birthday is tomorrow.
Oh,
happy.
happy
Yeah.
pre.
Happy, happy.
You'd be able to buy booze now, right?
Almost. You got one more year.
Okay.
Raised the drinking age?
They did.
Okay.
Yeah. It's another vote.
So we were kind of talking about the politics. Did we get into the survival of acting enough? I mean, I don't know if we need to.
We've
like-
been talking really positive, but that's
Yeah.
because he's been like.
I mean, he's a
positive.
golden light of.
Yeah.
Of,
But then we started talking about AMPTP, which I thought they dropped the P because producers had to join the DGA as part of the
I
director's
really like
Guild.
hearing that. for
Well, let's
some
just
reason.
call them the evil overlords.
Yeah, the evil overlords.
I got in Facebook jail because of
Might happen to me next.
the head negotiator, Carol Lombard.
Yeah.
I put a picture of her up, and I put a statement, and the statement said, Carol could go to the local veterinarian and get treated, and no one would ask questions.
Yeah.
I got in Facebook jail for that.
Oh my
You think
god.
the evil overlords of Facebook are in cahoots with?
I have no idea.
They're all friends. I think all
Yeah, I
the
think
big
they are.
bosses are friends.
Someone in my case, I use social media for shameless self-promotion.
That's what a lot of people do.
Yeah, I mean, in other words, I learned a long time ago when you get booked on a role somewhere, it's not who you know,
Who's stalking
it's
you?
who knows you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Who's stalking you as well?
yeah, okay.
It can go into that, especially once you're on a production and you are given some of those secrets. You better believe that those producers, those casting directors are checking to make sure you're not giving away anything.
Yeah.
Because you can get fired from a show if you say
Blacklisted.
anything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Johnny
that's also
Depp.
good.
Johnny
yeah, we're going to talk
Depp.
about Johnny Depp. but
Yo,
that's-
you know he's leaving. But
yeah,
he wants to
he's
get out.
retiring acting, which good for him.
You know about that?
Without detail, I know about it.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of details.
He was at Cannes. He was at Cannes, and he for his latest
Is that in
film. I forget
Paris?
the name of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
and I can't remember what the movie is, but it was out. He was talking about how you have to kind of fall in line.
I don't feel boycotted by Hollywood because I don't think about it. I don't think about Hollywood. I don't have much further need for Hollywood myself. It's a very strange, funny time where everybody would love to be able to be themselves, but they can't because they must fall in line with the person in front of them. You want to live that kind of life? I wish you the best. I'll be on the other side somewhere.
You know, that's what Hollywood expects and this kind of thing, and it's toxic. And they want him for another Pirates of the Caribbean movie. You know what he said?
He said no.
Yeah, he said I need Disney to offer a public apology. Is what he said.
Yeah, they should.
Yeah, and he's not gonna do it otherwise. That is a gamble, bro.
Yeah,
You know,
it really is.
Yeah,
It really
I hope
is.
they do it. To be honest with you, but
I
it's
hope they
still a
do
gamble.
too. I think that
That'd be good.
Disney knows that they have been toxic over the years.
They should do, you know, it's
They
from
should
the
know
heart.
that.
They should do
If they
something
don't.
like that. Just kowtow a little bit, Disney,
Yeah.
like publicly. We'd love you more if you did that.
Yeah.
I have such mixed emotions
Go on, say them
Because-
all.
because if I'm anti-Disney, that means I'm lining up with Ron DeSantis.
Yeah.
Do we have to choose sides? Can we, like, I don't know. It's always seems like
I don't know. I'm the same way where I'm like, there's some bad stuff Disney does, but also at the same time they've made me a good amount of money over the years.
and their movies, I've cried from happiness and sadness.
Yeah. Yeah,
You know?
exactly.
So it's like you've touched me. So
I
you
love
know.
Marvel.
Yeah.
That's it.
Is it?
I don't have anything else to say.
I thought you were like it's the same thing. Like you have the same kind of love, hate,
Yeah.
or love, sad.
I love Marvel
relationship.
before Disney bought them, so
Oh, right.
and I still do love Marvel, but that doesn't mean I love Disney.
I love Lamp.
Do you really love the lamp? Or are you just saying it because you saw it?
I love cream.
And the cream rises.
That sounds bad. I shouldn't have said that.
I have coffee.
Um,
What are we at?
No, I mean,
down to
we're-
the end of your list.
We're on politics and survival of acting. I think we kind of did good. Johnny Depp retiring. We covered that.
That's fine. I want to ask. You said that you worked with Colin Mockery.
Yes.
How was that? How's he? Because I got to see him one time when he did the Dungeons and Dragons at Dad's Garage. Dad's Garage.
You know, I was part of the Garage Dad crew, and he and I did a selfie together that they used for info. You have a real actor and a wannabe. You know, I thought that was cool. But he's very personable, very approachable. And in fact, my experience is that most people that people put up on a pedestal for one reason or another are quite approachable and quite, you know.
What do you think about that? Not to cut you off, but I don't want to forget the pedestal thing, the pedestalizing of actors.
Oh, I know what you were asking. Like,
You know, is that big?
What do you think about the people who put those
People,
who put actors on a pedestal, celebrity
Yeah.
onto a pedestal? Because
You're not going to believe this, but when I did Too Many Cooks, I would have people stop me at the gas station while I'm filling up the car and ask about doing a selfie together.
Yeah. How does that feel?
Well, it actually
great, yeah.
is great. You feel, you know, you've got some sort of recognition for it, but it has stopped. You know, it is because it's almost 10 years. It's 10 years old now, I think.
I think so.
It's about 10, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's
So it's
2012,
like it's faded off,
2013.
and a few people in the business know it. You know.
Yeah.
I wanted to go work for James Gunn. I thought he's a fantastic director, and I remember reading press about him thinking that Too Many Cooks was terrific.
Oh, really?
Yeah, right.
Hey, James Gunn.
So I went
Yeah, he's
to
on the line. That's all.
I went
Thank you.
to Augusta and worked on Suicide Squad as an extra.
The newer one.
The newer one.
Oh,
Suicide
thank God.
Squad 2.
That new one,
I
baby.
know what
I was dressed in orange. I was a prisoner, and you know,
I remember
I was in a line with James' brother. But long story short,
Sean.
Yes.
You have a good
Um,
resume.
What occurred was David Dustamolchin, whatever, if I got that right, was a Cook's fan
Yeah.
and had a big long conversation with me all about the filming and the writing and I mean he was just excited as hell. And I'll sit and bullshit with you or anybody. It doesn't matter. I love to talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I told him I came here to try to get on James Gunn's radar.
Heck yeah.
Okay? I says, to put maybe, now the Too Many Cooks is a killer.
Yeah.
And where would a killer end up? In prison.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're right.
Tie
Yeah.
it, and then tie it to the DC universe.
So I'm figuring I could become an Easter egg in Suicide Squad. That was my psyche. So David says to me, I'll mention it to James. I says, thank you. Went on about my business. So when I got called on set, tight scene, James Gunn's sitting in a corner over there looking at a screen, whatever. And I'm a line of prisoners shackled on the feet and shackled in the arms and a chain in between each one, with Sean leading the pack, I think.
Yeah.
And he looks up, looks back down, and in a very loud, clear voice says, "We are too many damn Easter eggs in this film now." Mission accomplished. I got on his radar.
Yeah.
He never used me.
Yeah.
I don't think I made the film. I haven't seen it yet. It's on TV. But if I had been in the film,
It's on HBO Max. I'm gonna watch it tonight and check.
I'm gonna check too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was in the room with Viola Davis and that when they pulled the prisoners. But if I had made it and was visible, one of my small cult following would have said something on Facebook.
Oh, if
People-
they really wanted to make it to the Easter egg, they would have just put the name tags on everybody. Of just cook.
No,
bunch of cooks.
he's not going to do that.
No, it'd be
his-
way
his-
too much of an Easter egg.
His shit is under the
Subtle.
line.
I'm so
super subtle.
yeah.
Super
I
subtle.
love Gunn.
Especially when he works in the Marvel universe. DC, I haven't really delved into.
But yeah, that would
Easter eggs
the
there.
back end money on that would be just unbelievable.
I'm gonna watch it tonight. I'll let you know.
What's the favorite thing that you've done? Do you have a favorite project or a few that are like either working on it was your favorite or
That one
the
sounds
final
pretty
thing?
Home for the Holiday, my very first film that I made that you were on.
That was your first?
That was the first film that independent,
Wow.
Yeah.
Aww.
I enjoy that. I like to put it up every Christmas.
I AD, you know,
Yeah.
and I cut it. I was like,
Yeah, you edited it.
Cut
Yeah.
it too? That's great.
That's Chris. All right, shout out to Chris Kelly.
Chris Kelly!
I guess we should have him on.
I want him on
someplace.
the show.
Yeah, we should
I haven't talked to him in. Last time I saw him, I ran into him at a thrift store, which is fitting because he likes to go out to random thrift stores every couple months and just look
His
for Elvis
father
stuff.
just passed recently.
What?
Did he?
Yeah.
Jeez,
Sorry, Chris.
I had no idea, man. All right, we'll talk to him.
Here's to his father.
Well, I think it's been a month or so. At least.
Yeah.
Okay, but I haven't talked to him since then for sure.
It's been a while since I've talked to him. I'll like his stuff. Anytime that I can come across anything Elvis related,
Yeah.
I'll take a picture of it and I'll send it to him.
Because his kid's name is Elvis.
Well, he's a huge fan of Elvis.
that.
He named his kid's name's Elvis.
Of course, I mean
didn't
naturally.
know
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
loves Elvis. Elvis is his.
You want to hear something interesting? This is kind of a side thing. We're doing a series of holiday shorts, of horror holiday shorts. Chris was doing a series, and we're just doing them. And I think were you 2 or 3? Yeah. We did the Easter one. I remember that one. Yeah, he's wearing a bunny. There's some really good ones, really interesting, creepy, short, very small, 1 minute. And Chris, I gotta have him on to tell the story in detail.
Yeah.
But basically, he was working on making it a thing, like trying to get some funding for it or whatever. And he sent it to the wrong guy. Because what happened was, and it's one of those things, so it's like, it only takes one person to get to an area. He told this person, who worked with another person, who got a thing produced on Netflix. his holiday horror shorts separately as a compilation. It was produced on Netflix, and it's very suspicious that the guy, and it may be worse than this, the guy who heard it from Chris that he was trying to get to help him made it happen without him, cut him out and everything.
Yeah.
Not unusual.
Not unusual.
No, it was a good idea. It's a really good idea.
Hollywood.
Weird.
Oh, we're on the Martini. We're in the Martini, guy.
Are we? Well, I also want to say the first thing that I worked with Chris was we did extra work, but we also did a short horror film together as well.
Yeah.
I cannot for the life of me remember
What was
what it
the
was
premise?
called. It was basically about a trafficking, kidnapping somebody. My ex-girlfriend played the person who kidnapped. We had like Polaroid. I got to do some DP work on there. I got to do some camera operating.
I didn't know you shot.
The rig, the
Easy rig? Crane?
crane. Yeah, we had to do crane. We had like, it was a makeshift one that was made out of like,
Yeah.
bed frame and stuff.
Yeah, that's
But
cool.
it was really well put together. And then I also built my own tracking dolly for it. So we got some really
Nice.
cool shots. I also built my own car mount with glass carrier,
Yeah.
suction cup things.
That's cool.
I got very handy on that show. We did some really good shots on that. And he wrote
In the
that
days.
and he directed it, and we shot at his old apartment.
Long live
that's-
independent film, man.
Yeah, that's where me and my best friend TJ Garland started hanging out.
That's your best friend? TJ's your best friend?
Yeah, one of them.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Is he still lifting? Does he even lift, bro?
of course.
Shout out to
This is
TJ.
TJ Garland. He
He's-
doesn't stop lifting.
He's like,
yeah.
boom, hold up.
Yes, he loves the boom.
I'm just the opposite.
Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah. You're a rising
talking
star.
You talking the boom. Why are you telling me to talk?
You are the boom.
But we are in the Martini.
Yeah, we're on the Martini. We're gonna talk about what's some of the best
I want to
Christmas
touch my
movies.
hat too, since we're all
But
touching our hats.
I meant to. I was like, I thought you weren't gonna wear that. In fact, what's up,
I've been
man?
wearing it the whole time.
You see this? You see what I got going on here? Speaking of Peter Dinklage, this is my Hollywood.
I drink and I know things.
I drink and I know things.
Oh yeah.
Peter Dinklage
You
is
didn't
my.
point that out earlier.
I mean, there's so much to talk about, you know.
I was singing the Game of Thrones theme, saying Peter Dinklage. Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage,
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage, Peter Dinklage.
Why are you singing his name like that?
Because you can with the song. It works.
The scene I filmed with him was filmed in Gwinnett County Jail.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
And at some point, Glenn Close is in it also. Okay,
You were man. Yes.
I'm not in the scene with Glenn.
Close.
Oh, okay.
I'm not in the scene with Glenn. But she's got the orange outfit, on as well.
Yeah.
And there's an on-set photographer, a woman, who's doing some publicity shots with the stars. So they line up on one level down from where I'm at, and they're posing back where they can see the jail cell and whatever.
Yeah.
And I had an irresistible urge. I came over, got in behind them, and the photographer kept clicking,
Yep.
clicking.
Of course.
Never said a word, never acknowledged them. So I'm hoping that survives.
I hope so too,
Yeah.
man.
I'm sure it's in a database somewhere.
You're gonna be
Yeah, but
everywhere.
I hope
Will-
it comes out.
Will they use it?
Maybe.
Will they
That'd be
use it?
so great if they did.
I hope so.
They might even
Algorithm,
see it.
make it happen.
You'll get a call back for reshoots.
No.
I was gonna manifest that for you, but if you don't want it, it's
No, that's not going to. But yeah, I appreciate that. But
Yeah.
it's
Sounds
it
like-
could end up being one of them films that never gets released
It
too.
could be.
Yeah.
Could be, but I really want to see it though. Peter Dinklage.
I worked as an extra on season 2 of The Walking Dead.
Yeah. Okay.
I lived
So
near
did I.
there. Oh yeah.
We
Yeah.
both zombies.
No,
I was.
I was the governor. David.
David. Meh.
Yeah. Brit.
Yeah.
I was one of his men. I was a guard,
Okay, yeah.
badass. And I learned real quick that if you want to get a lot of days in, show them your ass and always be looking away so don't see your
Yeah.
face a whole lot.
Mhm.
So I did that a lot. So they wrote me a great scene at the end where we stormed the prison and there's tear gas thrown and I got a bandana that I put up over my face and I'm going through and there I see the lead guy Andrew Lincoln stringing barbed wire across one of the passageways. And I sneak up on him, and magically I become left-handed. And I reach and grab a Glock, and against the side of the wall, I draw it down. The camera comes behind me, shoots right down me at David, and a sword comes up through the center of my chest. I fall to the ground. Michonne takes off a gas mask,
Yeah.
shakes her head, gets them little locks out,
Yeah,
and I lay there.
Yeah.
I invite everybody to that showing at the house.
Yeah.
Put out the booze and and we have
Watch
a
me get
viewing
killed.
party, right? We're gonna watch me get killed.
Yeah.
They cut to see.
Yep.
No!
Did I feel like an asshole?
Oh.
So normally I don't ever tell anybody what I've done. I made an exception here in this case.
I got
Oh,
lucky
Lord.
because I was background on there as just zombies every single time, and I think every time I did get cut as a zombie because they recycle the zombies all the time. All of mine got seen. I got to do a scene with Andrew
Nice.
where should have been a stunt, but I didn't know that. I was naive at the time, and I
They
could
were
have
bad
used.
for that.
They were. I could have used that voucher to get my eligibility.
Mm.
I'm not too sour about it anymore because I've got my SAG card and all that. But I got to do a stunt. I was very excited to do it. They strapped me in a back thing and everything, put it underneath it. They had laid down an area for me to fall with a mat and cardboard. And
Lord.
first, he comes up the hill. This is season 3, the first episode. He comes up the hill to the prison, or season 2 or 3.
2 would have been the prison. We
That's when
stormed the prison.
Yeah, when they first.
Or 3. I'm sorry, 3.
Season
You're right.
3, yeah.
3.
It was when they first discovered.
2 was the farm, huh?
Yeah, that's right. That's with Herschel at the
Right.
farm. The season, which I also worked on that.
Rest in peace.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's a great actor. I didn't get to work with him directly. But
Seems like a nice guy.
season 3, they come walking up the hill. First scene of the second
Episode.
scene of the episode comes up, shoots me in the shoulder. I fall down. Then I get back up, and I got to. It was just so cool because I got to talk with Andrew and coordinate with him directly because it was just him
You're
and I.
in it? You made it, right?
I made it, yeah.
It's in the same,
And I've got really good screen time in that too because
All right.
I wasn't in hero makeup, but I was far enough away that they did good enough makeup.
I'm gonna try
on
to
me.
find it and I'm gonna put it on
You'll
the cut.
see it. You'll see it.
Well,
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can
And
download it.
then the next shot was in the head, and I got to fall down a second time.
That's cool.
I got to shoot 3 zombies in the head with an M16, where they shot down your shoulder. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got
I
some
wonder if
talent.
I was one of them because I was going. I was
Did
in
you
the
kill
prison.
me?
I was in the prison.
Did
I
you
got
shoot
shot in
me?
the prison. Glenn stabbed me with his little crowbar at the fence. I got to die
Oh, I might have seen that before in the
Yeah.
movie.
Why
Yeah,
is
probably.
A Fear of the Walking Dead not at that studio now?
there. I thought it was filmed in L.A.
I think that's why. Yeah,
They want-
it's in LA.
okay.
Yeah.
I heard it wasn't as good. I don't want to watch it.
You know,
I've
that's-
been watching. I've been trying to.
That
like
studio is the oldest studio in Georgia.
Is it really in Sonoya? Wow.
Any last minute advice? Anything from the actor's perspective, working in film, warnings, hopeful tidbits, jewels?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you're working as an extra and you have ambitions, every time you work on a show, you go to IMDb, you look up who the director is of the movie or the showrunner of a TV show, And you look at their face and you memorize their face. And then somewhere during that day, you may cross paths with that son of a bitch. I mean, it might be at a lunch table or crafty or whatever.
Yeah.
And when you do, don't speak to him. Just look at him and see eye to eye and smile. That way, if he needs somebody like you, he knows you're there.
Yeah.
I got bumped 6 times as an extra.
You doing this, you think?
Well,
That's such a simple
it
concept.
didn't hurt.
Didn't hurt.
Didn't hurt.
That's
I
great
have a
advice.
complaint.
You have
Yeah.
complaints.
So William, you live in what county?
Coweta County.
Coweta.
Coweta.
Very kind.
I'm actually from
Coweta.
Coweta.
Far from Coweta.
No, you said like a moo cow. No, I'm just picking on you.
Call
I'm-
whatever
I'm-
you want.
I'm
But
easy.
they do when they talk to news or like film, they do say it Coweta.
I think it's Coweta.
But native to Coweta. There you go.
Yes.
John Wallace,
Got me.
murdered in Coweta County.
Go
Mine.
Yeah, yeah, they call, yeah.
Johnny Cash.
Yep.
I think that's some really good advice you just had.
Yeah,
Um,
that is solid. Like, I'm over here like, why have I not used that?
yeah. And it's like you're not like if you speak, it could be a different thing, but
Yeah.
the look, the smile,
Mm-hmm.
you do it
Like
right.
a recognition of like, I know. I've seen your shit.
Yeah. I know you
Now
know.
we're gonna get kicked off live because I said shit.
Oh shit.
Luckily, it's
Good
gonna
YouTube.
it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great.
We never said that in the beginning.
We said it on the first episode.
We did say it in the first episode. We
Yeah.
didn't introduce it today.
But wait, we didn't do it. We didn't like make it a thing.
No, it's-
I'm going to be
You wanna do it
honest,
now?
Okay.
We have to
They're
do it.
not honest with you. Most of it's going to be great.
Hey.
Most of it's a shit show.
All right, well, we can say it on 3. You want to do it now? It's
Sure.
gonna be great. All right, 1, 2, 3.
It's
gonna be great. That was all right.
That was perfect. Nope, we nailed it.
But wait. I was going to do a movie thing, and I wanted to know what you guys think the best Christmas movie is, if you have one.
The best.
What's your favorite Christmas movie? Go from your heart and soul.
Mine is always The Grinch with Jim Carrey.
The Grinch with Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Over the cartoon.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Christmas Story with Peter Dinklage.
Oh yes. With
No, I'm
Peter
sorry,
Dinklage.
excuse me. Peter Billingsley.
Yes, I was like, Dinklage?
Peter.
Was that
I
him?
was like, wait a second.
Hey, I'm old. Remember?
Peter Dinklage is
Very
in it
hard.
too.
I worked. Peter Billingsley was directing something. Was filmed down our way with Vince Vaughn, and I worked as an extra. And the PA come to all of us and says, "Don't say you'll shoot your eye out. You don't say that on this set."
It wasn't a Christmas movie, was it?
The Christmas Story.
No, I'm saying the movie that you worked on.
No,
wasn't
it
a
was
Christmas movie?
Vince Vaughn and
4 Christmases.
no.
Vince
It was
and Owen Wilson.
no. It was just Vince and a girl, and he was her dad, and they were going to kill people. Whatever, I don't know.
All your projects are so violent, William.
Yeah,
That's the only thing he does. He's got a contract. He has to do murdery stuff. What's your favorite Christmas movie?
Let me first say that I don't have one, okay? But I'm gonna do it for the sake of this
La-dee-da.
production. I'm just saying, look, I can't compare. I'm gonna say 3 right now, all right? Die Hard, Gremlins, and Home Alone, all right? And I'm counting 1 and 2 together, so it's technically 4 movies. That's how my mind works.
Is Gremlins
Gun
a
in my
Christmas
head.
movie?
Right now,
Gremlins. That's a Christmas movie?
it happens at Christmas, bro.
Does
There's a
it?
whole dude. Do you know the story she tells at the fireplace?
Now I have another reason to hate Christmas.
Okay, what are you talking about?
The worst thing that ever happened to me was on Christmas. Oh, God. It was so horrible. It was Christmas Eve. I was 9 years old. Me and Mom were decorating the tree, waiting for Dad to come home from work. A couple hours went by. Dad wasn't home. Mom called the office. No answer. Christmas Day came and went, and still nothing. So the police began a search 4 or 5 days went by. Neither one of us could eat or sleep. Everything was falling apart. It was snowing outside. The house was freezing, so I went to try to light up the fire. And that's when I noticed the smell. The firemen came and broke through the chimney top. And me and Mom were expecting them to pull out a dead cat or a bird. And instead, they pulled out my father. He was dressed in a Santa Claus suit. He'd been climbing down the chimney on Christmas Eve, his arms loaded with presents. He was gonna surprise us. He slipped and broke his neck, died instantly. And that's how I found out there was no Santa Claus.
Usually
It's
the
amazing.
Oh,
We talk about her
You got
dad.
another one. I think you got another one.
you want a shameless plug?
Yes.
Yeah.
Adult Swim Yule Log.
Oh yes, I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about. It's another Too Many Cooks spin-off.
Okay.
I watched
okay.
it last year.
It's from Casper Kelly, the guy
Okay.
that did Too Many Cooks.
Mm-hmm.
And what it is like the Shopping Channel becomes Yule log burning, and that's it.
Yeah.
It starts off as the Yule log burning.
Mm-hmm.
And then these legs come walking in, and this woman is cleaning and doing, and then somebody else shows up. The cabin is double booked, and there's weird shit that happens.
I met the actress recently. Well, I met her
Andrea
last year.
Lang?
Yes, yeah. And
Yeah.
I went to, I think it was
I
New
worked
Year's. No, it was New
Yeah.
Year's. I think it was New Year's I met her. She had a little party at her house. It might have been Christmas last year.
But I think the best character on that is a British woman by the name of Toby something or other
Mm-hmm.
that plays the role of Mother. There's a Pleatherface character.
Leatherface.
Pleatherface character
Nice spin-off.
who is a killer.
Yeah.
Who is a you never see his face. And
Covered in pleather. Yeah.
yeah.
Does it look kind of like you?
No,
Okay.
it's not, no.
It's not you. Okay.
No, it's not me. I do a cameo. I do a real cameo.
I remember seeing it. I was like, oh, it's William there.
Mm-hmm.
Because we were waiting to see Andrea because she had a plane in the background while we were playing.
Yeah, she was one of the main characters.
Yeah.
I had absolutely no dialogue. Adult Swim
Naturally.
is notoriously cheap.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you just know that going in.
Yeah.
So Adult Swim offered me the role. Sent a letter to my agent. Said, since William has no dialogue, we'll give him full scale as an extra of 167 or something like that. That's what Adult Swim is. I got no problem.
Oh my God.
It's what they do.
No, but they say they're full scale.
So, that background, SAG background, right?
It's horrible.
So, I was second season of Welcome to Flatch was going to film. I didn't get my dates yet. So I told her, I says, tell them back that I will be happy to work that for them. But my second season of Welcome to Flatch is probably going to be starting about the same time. So if they want to lock me in, it has to be scale for a day.
Mm-hmm.
So give me full scale for a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. That's good
At
work.
And
the
I-
background rate or the SAG rate?
SAG rate.
Okay.
Oh, right.
Good.
I got 500 residuals off
Yeah.
of it already.
Oh, good.
But I'm sitting in a chair, eating ice cream.
Nice.
That's what
Nice.
you doing the whole time?
That's all I did.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I was supposed to have a remote control changing the channel, but they didn't use that part. You know,
Okay.
they filmed all of about 12 minutes with me.
All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That's
multiple takes.
That's a good check, man. Do you have anything else coming up? Any other shameless plugs?
I think I know which one you're talking about now.
Nope.
I don't have any.
A showing going to show on Amazon is Dad's Garage. Those people created a movie, How to Ruin the Holiday,
Yeah.
with basically Amber Nash going home to her father Coleman, and
she came to my high school one year.
they have a slow, intellectually slow brother, I guess.
Okay.
And the relationship between them and her, and the
Yeah.
holidays, and looked interesting. I was just drunk at a bar that Cat called, you know,
Okay.
in her show. I think it was cut. But, yeah, I think what I did was cut, but
You
I'm
got
not
to
sure.
do it.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
Do you know Elizabeth Cooper? There's two of them at Dad's Garage. Both named Elizabeth Cooper. One spelled with an S, one spelled with a Z. But I don't know if they're still there or not, honestly.
Well, I used to know everybody. Damn. The name really sounds familiar, but
And you
Probably
probably
do.
have worked with her. She usually is behind the scenes. Elizabeth Cooper with the S. She was my theater teacher in high school.
Theater teacher.
Yeah.
Dads, every time I go there, they want to comp me, but I buy the ticket anyway. And then they comp me
Good
some
man.
drinks.
Good man.
Well, it's a great little venue, you know. I don't go often enough. Dad's Garage in the 4th Ward here in Atlanta puts on a lot of improv, but I really love their scripted shows. And I think for Christmas this year, they're doing Scrooged, starring Karen Cassidy.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's going to be good then.
Do you have any dream roles? Things that you want to do? Is there something that, or are
Anything.
you just enjoying the moment?
Anything for gun.
Yeah. You just enjoy the moment and like if something cool comes,
Maybe
a cool
bring it back
director.
around.
Let me put it this way, I don't turn anything down.
Yeah.
I have no limits. I got so bored during this off time. I did a 24-hour film or 48-hour
Oh.
film race
Yeah. Those
where
are-
I wore nothing but a wife beater and a pair of Depends. It's called
He said depends. So he's wearing a diaper. That's excellent.
it's called Haunted House Tour.
Okay.
There's a haunted house. I haunt it.
I hope they do a sequel.
That I'm sure it's be on YouTube.
Yeah, that's
Um,
usually where they or Vimeo.
Yeah.
Where can they find you? If someone's looking for William, what should they look for out
We've
there?
got the social
IMDb.
medias.
IMDb.
Missed everything I've
IMDb.
done. Yeah.
You're on YouTube.
We'll post that.
I've got a few things on YouTube, but I'm not a big. I'm not a digital creator.
So you're
I
on
like to
Instagram.
consider myself an analog creator.
Okay. No Instagram or TikTok. Or anything.
I have Instagram. I have Facebook, and I'm on Threads now. I'm
Okay.
on Threads.
Okay.
Well, if somebody wants to book you, how should they? Is there a way to?
IMDb.
Janet Van Dyke is my agent.
Okay.
She's a good agent.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Yeah.
Jana, when I did that line for Your Pretty Face,
Yeah.
a friend of hers, one of her clients says, "You need to book this guy. He's moving up." And I met her, gave her headshot and everything, and she arranged a meeting. And she told me, she says, "I will sign you with one condition. I want you to take some sort of acting class because I don't want you to embarrass me."
Hey.
And so she gave me a list of places, and I picked Drama Inc., and I took their on-camera class. And my first instructor was a gentleman by the name of Jason McDonald.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at my TV show, Welcome to Flatch, Jason and I are the only two reoccurring actors out of Atlanta that did that show. So that is an accomplishment I really like, is the fact that I got to work with my first acting instructor. We didn't do a scene together, but we were
Still.
on the show.
That's excellent. And Drama Inc. is a very good acting studio in Atlanta.
Yes.
So the big takeaways that I've heard tonight are work on your craft, like get jobs wherever you can find, build your resume, try to get an agent after that, and smile at producers at the crafty
Directors.
table. And directors.
Yeah.
Well, whoever runs the show.
Yeah, whoever's trying. Whoever's in charge. If
There's
it's
a little
James Gunn,
difference.
he's doing all of it.
There's a little difference between TV and
The head honcho,
Films.
though. Find
yeah.
The head honcho.
Films is always the director.
Indeed.
I want to make sure I get to say something just to make sure everybody is aware. My friend Secret Harris, she's currently in the hospital. She is, she's doing a lot better. But anybody who would like to help donate, look on my Facebook, my Instagram. I'll be posting where to donate to, and also if you are O negative or A negative, she needs platelets. Anywhere you can donate to Red Cross, just donate your blood. Just donate your blood. Give your blood. It doesn't matter what your blood type is. Just donate blood in general. But what she needs is O negative and A negative. No. So we're praying for her. We're pulling for her. She's doing good. She's supposed to be out tomorrow.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Our prayers are with you, Secret.
Yeah.
Take care of yourselves and each other. And mental health. I want to bring up mental health almost every episode.
Support mental health!
Yeah, do it!
Kill you! That was a real reaction there.
It was. So
If you have an urge, do it.
Do it. Jack said that.
If you've got an urge,
You give me a Jack again?
if you have an urge, do it.
Do
It's not great.
It's not
great.
You have an urge. It sounds more like
If you've got an urge, do it.
yeah, Unforgiven. It's what Clint Eastwood. You have an urge. Do it.
If you got an urge,
Do it.
all right, I'll do it. I guess. That's what I have to say.
Thank you for joining us on It's Gonna Be Great. This has been episode 3. Every episode is gonna be better, and eventually it's gonna be great. It's gonna get better and better. Okay.
That was a good Jack. That was a good Jack.
Johnny is Johnny.
Here's Johnny.
What was the name of that movie?
Shiny.
Shiny.
Shining.
That's Shining. The scene with him and Shelley Duvall,
Mm-hmm.
where she's got the baseball bat,
Yeah.
He's got that.
127 takes.
Yep.
Really?
Do it again.
How many?
Do it again.
How many doors?
That was perfect. Do it
Do it
again.
again.
After 75, like, what do you think?
Do it again.
The director hated her, I think.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
The director despised her.
Yeah.
I mean, he pulled all that out, you know? She must have been exhausted.
Of course. 120.
I think it drove her why she quit acting for a long time. She's just getting back into it.
Good. Hopefully, we never with that director again.
I heard that he does that. He did that to stop them from acting and to get something that is raw out of them.
I get
How do y'all
that.
feel about that, by the way? Just real
Fuck
quick.
that.
That's all I do.
That's all you do? You consider it manipulation,
I
huh?
think it's
Emotional
manipulation.
manipulation.
Like, if you are consenting to do it that way, and if
Yeah.
like there's a conversation that has happened before you're doing that.
About I'm going to manipulate you?
Yeah. Well, like, I want you to do it raw, so we're gonna do some surprises.
yeah.
Be prepared to do it.
Something like that.
Yeah, something along the lines of like it's gonna happen.
That's
You can be prepared enough to be surprised by something.
Yeah.
That way, when it does, you're just like, they cut and you're like, oh, you got me. Almost like a prank.
I want to say, like, for real, Skylar, I think that's really good advice, and it's like, it's kind of subtle advice that you're giving, because I'm having this thing, because I prefer, I want to direct, right? That's my thing.
Yeah.
And when some of these performances that get pulled out of actors came from places like this, and I want to know if there's like a line that you could meet somebody, like a mental health line, so to speak. And I think that's it.
Well,
But I
I
don't
think
know.
the day should start with like knowing what is going to be done during the day that
Yeah.
might be considered that, and having like a safety meeting, saying like today we're going to be doing some difficult work that involves more raw material.
Oh,
Sorry.
I know where you're going.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bring that up in a second. No, that'll be on the next episode. Thank you.
But involves us trying to get more raw emotional reactions. So
Yeah.
we have a therapist here today. This is her, this is him, this is the name of the person.
Yeah.
If you are feeling triggered by anything, come see them.
Yeah.
But have the day start off with people knowing that they have a safe space they can go to if they are affected in a way that is negative.
Okay.
I want to work with an intimacy coordinator.
Yeah, okay. Well, we know, so that's his actual, like,
That was
fantasy
Jack
role.
Nicholson talking.
with an intimacy.
You
Doing it
know,
with COVID these days is way more challenging.
I mean, you keep your mask on.
And there's a picture of your mouth on the mask.
You know, Stanley Kubrick and Heath Ledger are the extremes of both sides, you know. So the mental health is somewhere in between that, and I think that you created a bridge, or said a bridge, that where extreme actors and directors could find a place to gel.
Meet in the middle.
Yeah, it's very subtle what you said. Next episode, I think it's ladies, man. I think it's ladies next time. And we should have like a
Sorry, are you going to be here for that one? You missed out. His eyes got wide. He's like, what am I doing here today?
Yeah. Women in film is the plan for the next episode. Ladies Issues will bring up, what's that Marlon Brando movie? What's that?
It's not a lady.
You know,
Last Tango in Paris.
Last Tango in Paris. That's why you said butter, right?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. We can bring up that kind of stuff. We can bring up, Weinstein over the seas. We can bring up all the things.
They'll have more, like, who do we know who is coming on the show already or no?
No, there's a lot of options is the problem, and we should maybe get a woman from different.
Yeah, I want their perspective. I want them to
actor, a
lead
PA,
the show.
and something else.
Yeah,
you know.
actor, PA.
I want to talk to you
director.
about it. Figure out.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah.
If anybody's interested, reach out to us as well.
Yeah.
We would love to hear anybody's perspective who's got some thoughts they want to express to our audience.
Indeed.
So, yeah.
Next year, okay, January.
Next year, yeah.
Look out for Women in Film, and William Tokarsky.
Yes.
Man, thank you for joining us today, brother.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
It's a big pleasure, sir.
My
Happy
pleasure.
to have you on here,
Man,
sir.
the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
I make it a point to work with the people that helped me when I was starting.
Oh man, it's my pleasure, man. I always want to work with good people. Always try to work with good people.
Reach out and touch them.
Always try to work with good people. But again, thank you for joining us today, and we'll see you next time on It's Gonna Be Great!
Happy holidays.
Freeze frame.
Oh, okay.
Alright, we're out. Let's just get out of here, guys.
You want me to stop it? Sure. Did you do it right? Did you do it? Okay.
We're out of here.
What's up, everyone? Shut up. Quiet them down. Quiet them down. Props, fuck in. Props, can you bring in the props? Get out of there. I see there. I'm seeing there.
But it's also very delicate.
Does anyone see Howie, dude? Where's Howie? Ready. I'm ready to go.
It's very sensitive.
Oh my god, how hard is this? Just bring it in.
A baby
We're ready.
gun.
We're ready.
Come in with your baby gun.
Camera's swinging away.
It's gonna be great.